Just a quick message before the podcast starts from Aaron. We do apologise sincerely about the audio having that annoying noise in the background. We completely forgot we'd left the heater on, pointing at us. It was cold in the shop. Please accept that apology. Hope you enjoy the podcast, and here's to many more.
Yeah, I mean, this is essentially this is the uncovering of the man behind the
Really?
Most people don't know who it is that runs it.
No, okay, follow them. Don't know who you are.
There's a few boozers that I've got good relationships with that know, but a lot of them still don't have a clue, which is quite funny, really. Yeah, well, part of the illusion, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like we should have bought you a mask or something.
Like an anonymous
We're back with like a voice changer.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like one of them terrorists from the cartel. Well, there's a few places that like know about me, but they don't want me in the pub because we've said a few things that we can get. We'll get.
Which one you think?
Well, what do you reckon first? Take your pick. I'll take your recommendations.
I'll go with my favourite if you want. I'd love to start you off with that.
And you're on the San Miguel Zero.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to stay dry.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah. But
Cheers.
cheers to this.
Cheers.
Good help.
We appreciate your time massively.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, we're back on episode 7. I'm absolutely delighted for this one because the man, the myth, the legend behind Stockport Pints has given us his valuable time. We're not in the boozer, even though we do have a quick booze, but he's here.
Away
so
from the
I appreciate this.
It's alright, of course, anytime. Drag me away from the pub.
Well,
But we didn't drag you away from the booze.
Exactly, yeah. My kind of place.
We appreciate this massively. We know you. We followed you for a while, especially my mates. Like we stick up the little stickers, toilets, anywhere. I'm not going to say the pubs because some actually do rip them down.
They do, yeah.
But yeah, I think your work is absolutely incredible.
Mate, honestly, thanks so much. It's gone like. It's only just over a year old. I think that's the maddest thing. You know, it started December last year, so it's like 14 months old.
We were trying to work out that just before. We thought 22.
Yeah.
Because it went bam, just took off.
That's it. I think when it started, you know, the kind of I just chose the right pubs at the right time. People were curious to know what was going on in the pubs, and then it just did really, really well.
Was that post-lockdown, wasn't it, when everyone was back out then?
Yeah.
Perfect time.
Which is how we got the idea for it.
Is that where it come from?
Yeah, so we were, you know, me and a buddy was sat in my apartment in the centre of Stockport, and we're thinking, it's going to be such a shame after lockdown because all these pubs are going to close down. And we said, well, we were the problem because we weren't going to the pubs. Yeah. So we've only got ourselves to blame, really. So as soon as lockdown's over and restrictions are lifted, we'll get out to all these pubs and we'll just document them as a personal diary, really. So if they do close down, we knew what they looked like and, you know, what was the story behind the doors.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. And then we thought, well, that's what we'll do. And then we did a few on Hillgate, right in the centre of Stockport. And one of them, I think it might have been the Queen's Head, where it just got shared loads because everyone was like, oh my God, I've walked past that thousands of times, always been a bit too intimidated to go in, wanted to know what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then they sent it to their friends, and they sent it to their friends, and
wow.
And then it just
it's so organic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, then it just built up the traction of people wanting to know what's going on, and then you get you've got to go here. I've always driven past this. What does this look like? And yeah, that was the kind of.
So you have thousands of people from Stockport.
Yeah.
Like it's a big place anyway, but thousands of people finding out these local pubs that no one knew about. Like you sit. I don't go out that much, but I look at your profile and I'm like, that looks decent, I am going there. I don't care if it's not for a bed, but for the food as well.
That's it, yeah, and that's one thing that's kind of changed maybe in the last 6 months is people are now wanting to know my thoughts or the page's thoughts on the food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was never going to be about the food, it was always just about the beer, and then you kind of realise, well, you're restricting the interest. It's as much about the food now than it is the beer.
And it's a good revenue for pubs now to do food as well. So you're keeping local businesses alive in that sense.
Yeah, they want to be more like dry-led rather than booze-led because that's where the market is for them.
100%.
Yeah.
And
if I'm saying, oh, well, if you're having and actually small plates, things like that are really taking off. So people say, well, I'm getting a beer, I fancy whatever, the salt and pepper chicken strips.
Small plate.
And they don't want to commit to a meal, but they know that that's the place to go for.
You've got to think a small plate compared to a meal. It might be a fiver. But them small plates are actually dear.
Yeah.
They are making good profit and good revenue on them.
Yeah.
And hand in hand, like, put two together, perfect little business model.
Exactly, yeah. So as soon as I sort of started to talk about food, people were like, oh yeah, that's really good. Good to know about food. I just kind of pushed it a bit more. So I've done a few restaurants.
Are you a big foodie?
I'm a foodie. I'm definitely a foodie. I don't cook.
No.
I'm a terrible cook. My missus will attend to that. But I think going out and eating out with a good beer is just a part experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's your favourite food?
That's a good question.
Got like a favourite cuisine?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're talking takeaways, like Chinese, it's just unbeatable.
Yeah.
But to eat out, I think a good steak is like
My go-to anyway, for like anywhere, like go-to.
And I think that's a sign of a good restaurant is a good steak.
Oh, 100%.
Because it's so easy to go right. It's almost like the Guinness of the restaurant world.
Yeah.
You know a good pub from a good Guinness.
Yeah.
You know a good
Is
restaurant.
that you go? So if you are going to a brand new pub, like just opened up, you're going to achieve the Guinness straight away.
9 times out of 10, yeah, because it's so easy to determine if they're a good boozer from the Guinness. Because like
I've seen so many different tips of reviewing Guinness.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Dublin, I've been to the Guinness factory in Dublin, and I'm not gonna lie, all I drank over there was Guinness.
Yeah.
And I come back and it isn't the same, but you always have the motto of Guinness tastes better abroad, not abroad, in Dublin, in Ireland, and it's like, do you think it is true?
Yeah, it is. But I think there are places that in Stockport that aren't far off.
No.
Because there's a whole culture to looking after it. You know, anyone can pour a Stella, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like a Guinness is its own separate glassware, glass washer. You know, the time it takes to pour it, the angle, all of that.
There's so much that actually goes into getting that perfect pint of Guinness.
It is a perfectionist.
And it shows, like, because you can see, you know, I can show you on the page what a bad Guinness and a good Guinness looks like. Whereas like I said, 99% of Stellas, Estrellas, Peronis will all look the same.
Yeah.
So I think going in for a Guinness is a good way to start, and then, you know, I quite like supporting local craft beer breweries and things like that. So always, if there's a crafty number on, get a little take on that.
No, decent.
Are you a split the G?
Split the G, see, that's controversial in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because at university we'd always like get between the Guinness and the Harp.
I thought it was that. I had so many different ones, but there's an account now, like yourself, split the G.
Split the G, yeah. So, but I think now more than ever it's split the G, isn't it? I'm hearing that more.
I'm more split the G. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of
it's easier.
It's perfect. Yeah. If you get it right, it's bam. There we go.
It's satisfying.
It's so satisfying.
So this isn't your daily job, though, is it?
No, I wish. No, I work in tech.
You work in tech?
I work in tech, yeah. So I'm an analyst for a tech.
That's what I was really interested about. I didn't know if you worked in a brewery or had connections to a brewery, but you work in tech.
Yeah, I'm completely separate from it, from professional life. I've got my kind of associations with Stockport Pints that, you know, help out, but as far as full-time job goes, it is all in tech. And it's quite a nice little outlet.
Is it what the switch off?
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming more and more like a job sometimes with some of the things that are going on.
I've been through your website and been through your merch. It is like a little professional, little run business. Really ran well, but I'll give you so much credit for the way it's ran. And you've got a full 100% full scale, full-time job somewhere else.
Yeah.
That must be so hard to juggle.
It can be. I mean, like, you know, even say doing something like this doesn't feel like a job. It's just a beer with pals and a good chat.
Yeah.
Just us finding the time to do it when you've got a full-time job and other things going on, and then just life, like, you know, yourself just takes over. But it's nice to have something else to focus on, because work's work. It's nothing exciting, you know. It's tech. It's nothing crazy. But this is like, it's a good little side project.
Switch on.
Yeah.
Did you ever think it'd get this big?
No, not at all. Absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, it started off as a little personal journal.
Yeah.
You know, me and a pal.
Where was the first boozer?
The first.
Can you remember?
Oh yeah, because I went back just before Christmas to do 1 year anniversary poster. Yeah, so it was a Star and Garter on the top of Hillgate.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where it started, because when we had this plan. We were living next to the Red Bull on Hillgate.
Okay, nice.
And basically Hillgate's just a big long
Yeah.
line of pubs. So the plan was the journal would start at the top and work its way down.
Yeah.
And then that day we did about 12 pubs.
All
Yeah,
documented.
Well, it got a bit hazy after that. Seven. Yeah.
Some awkward selfies in there for sure.
Oh, definitely.
especially after that many pints.
Yeah, it was a long. But I think then, like that day, we did, the Star and Garter. Then you've got the Sun and Castle. Then the Queen's Head corner cupboard. Then the corner cupboard's a crazy little place. Red Bull, and then obviously you're into town, aren't you? So, so that's where it started. So I went back, just before Christmas to do like a year celebration.
So you officially have your own pub crawl then? That is the official Stockport Pints pub crawl.
That's one thing we are doing.
Oh, 100%, we need to do that.
So,
we're going to get clients on this.
Just before Christmas, it must have been November time, I did the 12 pubs of Stockport. It was there was about 20 of us. We started at 12 o'clock at the Travellers' Call in Great Mall.
Yeah.
And we did 12. It was a bit of a unique one because they were all Robinson's pubs. So the point was it would be like a heritage pub crawl.
Yeah.
Rather than, because I think if you document a bar crawl, bars are changing all the time.
You don't. What is a bar to a proper pub? It's a big difference nowadays.
Exactly. And I was kind of going like Didsbury Dozen. They're all pubs, like the Met and the Station and stuff. So I was like, right, we'll do that. So we got 30 of us, 20 to 30 of us, 12 o'clock, first pint Travellers' Call. Honestly, it was regimented. We had a proper timesheet, we had stops for food, a big WhatsApp chat going. Really good fun. I mean, like, really good fun. Finished up in the Baker's Vault, which is like
traditional Stockport.
What a great end as well.
the best way to end it, and I always just said people can come and go as they please. We've got a time, so we knew where we'd be at 5 o'clock. So that was that was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Maybe something like that this year for Stockport Pints pub crawl.
Well, I wanted to do it maybe like quarterly, so everyone could get on it and do it. I'm just trying to think about ways to do it. And
you will have loyal followers now, and I've seen your comment section.
Especially with the size.
You do have male, women, like different age groups commenting. So if you do, there's always that revenue there. Not revenue, but like flow of people.
There's the interest.
To put quarterly, that's a perfect idea.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's not ticketed or anything like that. I did think about kind of, make it ticketed and your first beer is free at the first pub just to get people in. But then I thought, well, the beauty of it is that if you're at the football 3 till 6, you can have a look at the
the
schedule and think, well, I'll meet you at the Alexandra at 6 o'clock in Edgeley or whatever. You know what I mean?
Organised pub crawl.
Yeah.
That's a new word to me.
Yeah.
That is something that I would never have the logistics for.
It was hard. it was hard work. Fortunately, my buddy James, who was at the start of Pints, was with me when we were doing the kind of journal together. He's like, right, I'll be timekeeper.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, that's your job. Timekeeper. And sure enough, 45 minutes on the dot, it's like, right, drink up, we're going.
Drink up, we're going.
And you had to, honestly, because some of the pubs you just get lost in. Like good pubs, it's so easy to spend.
Imagine the level of content you could do though. So like, say if you did your Origins pub crawl, so like the 12 pubs on Hillgate or whatever, and you actually did like pub golf. Imagine the content that you could make in really like snappy short reels. You could make it a series. It'd be unreal.
Pub golf,
and if that's something you want to do, I'd love to jump on that.
I'd love to help you out with it because we have photographers and cameramen with us.
We're a videographer.
I'll take
all
the help I can get. Genuinely.
I think we'll leave this here, but we can speak about this off camera. Like, I know a documentary of people getting blinded.
And in Stockport, in local businesses.
Like Hollyoaks in Stockport.
It's literally the best form of advertising for these small businesses.
Honestly, and that's the thing you got to remember as well, because we're getting 30 people in a pub at 12 o'clock at lunchtime. They're loving it.
Yeah,
it's so
100%. They're not letting you leave after 45 minutes.
No. They absolutely love it, and they all know in advance. I let them
I love that.
Give them all a
Yeah.
heads up, so they're not caught off guard. Yeah, it was good. It was a good event. So as soon as I'll put you both down for the next one, as soon as as soon as I've got it ironed out, yeah.
Even if it's zeros, I'm still coming.
Oh, mate.
But yeah, that's mad. But I've not asked you.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Really, really good beer.
On draft over there, it's elite too.
I can imagine it being even better on draft. It's so tasty.
It is nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
It's a good one after skiing.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for that.
No worries at all. But I think people are intrigued, and I think these are the questions that we've asked a couple of people about who do follow that. That you probably do get it asked all the time, but we want to know like what your best, your worst. So we're going to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Of like your pints, your pubs that we've both agreed on.
Yeah.
We've both written down. So obviously, first of all, what is your best pint? Your favourite? I take it you do have a few different like look.
Yeah, I think it depends what like best pint. I mean, without question, the best Guinness in Stockport's the Traveller's Call in Great Moor. Without question.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Put that one.
Honestly, I'll show you a photo in a minute of it, and you'll think it was in Dublin. Like, yeah. And it's funny because the woman, the landlady that runs it, she's from Ireland. And I thought that explains it all. And it's just one of them. So blown away by the Traveller's Call, because you wouldn't expect it, would you? It's just a random Robinson's pub on a corner on the A6. It's not much to kind of look at or anything like that. Nothing fancy.
I wouldn't have guessed it. I would have gone market someplace.
Yeah, genuinely, Traveller's Call. I've always said it, and there's a few people that say, "Oh, we can do it better," and I've had some good ones like Cassidy's, the Irish bar in Heaton Moor, Ace, but Traveller's Call is top tier. Yeah. A few that come close, but
yeah. No, decent.
So we're going to see 1,000 people rush there.
I hope so, because they deserve the support. They're absolutely ace.
I've not been in ages, to be fair. I think maybe last Christmas.
Yeah.
Just happened on the way home.
They're good sports.
I think the last time that I went in there was during COVID when the curfew was a thing.
Oh yeah.
And my mate got married, and we had a stag do the night before the wedding, and we were in there. Yeah, that was dangerous. I actually don't think I remember going in there. I see the transactions on my bank statement.
yeah. It's always worrying.
Yeah.
So we put your best. Like, what's your worst?
Yeah.
You don't have to name bar names.
No, you can just say beers. I don't like.
Do you mean like beer or pub?
We'll keep it in Stockport. I think we'll keep it like listen to you.
So, I mean, it's one of them. Like in terms of pubs, there's been a few really rough Guinnesses because, like I said, it's really easy to determine. One thing I've never done really or tried to avoid doing is kind of putting down hospitality.
Yeah.
So if you follow the page long enough, you definitely know the places that have had a bad Guinness and they are on the page. Sometimes they're bad. I mean, but again,
there's a few places.
When hospitality is struggling, and the worst thing you can do is like kind of call someone out,
especially
publicly.
I understand that.
Because you don't want to look like that guy. Because they do other things so
You've
well.
got a big following around there too. That's the last thing you want.
You don't want to create any enemies in hospitality, or because it is quite a small community ultimately. Of staff and managers and owners and stuff. Especially when people like Robinson's or Green King own a lot of them, you kind of want to build a good relationship with them. And what they lack in a pint they'll make up for in other things like maybe food or cask ale or something like that.
Is there a certain type of beer that you don't drink?
Yeah,
you don't like?
The only beer that I just cannot drink, I just cannot stomach it, is Foster's.
That's fair. That is so fair.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
it's so fair.
It's the only, if you're in a scenario where it's like, would you rather have a beer or nothing? And the beer's Foster's and we have nothing. And it's probably the only one. I think. And then there's
a couple for me.
There's a beer that Green King do. It's a pale ale. Jolly Sailor have it. It's called Icebreaker.
I've seen it.
I've never had it.
That's abysmal. That's really awful. But Foster's. And Foster's such an easy answer, isn't it?
I think dishwasher is like so weak.
That's it.
It's far too foamy. It's a bit.
Yeah, and it's just not tasty. Because I saw
gassy as well.
I wonder if it's good enough.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like that's all like marketing, isn't it?
Is it Australian or not?
No, I think it's just all English, but they just market it as an Australian beer to make it more like.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Though. Why?
Yeah, honestly, I might be wrong, but I'm sure it's got nothing to do with
I
Australia.
was just drink all that wine out of boxes, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what they drink, not Foster's.
That's it. But honestly, I was at a gig, a Sam Fender gig in Newcastle. It was at
Fucking that was mad.
yeah, it was good. It was at the Tynemouth Castle, and it's like an outdoor venue, and all they had was Foster's. So it's the only only gig I've been to without a beer in my hand, because I was just like, it just makes me feel ill.
I did a lot of F1 last year and was sponsored by Heineken, and I wasn't a massive fan until coming back from the two events. I was like, Heineken's actually decent, you know.
Yeah.
It's actually underrated.
It used to be my go-to, like
Yeah.
lager. If I wasn't drinking Guinness or anything, like Heineken would be my go-to.
You have the frozen pump.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Talking about pumps, Corona on draft. That's a way. I'm not a fan of Corona.
I'd rather have it out of the bottle.
Yeah, it's nice out. I feel like out of bottles like how it should be.
Yeah.
Especially because like the lime goes in like the you know the top of the bottle and then you can actually taste the lime in it, and it kind of complements it better. Whereas you know when you get a pint of it, then just throw it in.
Yeah.
It's just kind of floating all sad.
I do like the Corona beer taps.
Yeah.
Because they've got the little like glass window.
Yeah.
But then we found out the other day. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if some client told us it's water behind it. And
It's like coloured.
The coloured glass.
I mean,
It
probably
probably makes sense.
Yeah.
Sort of like.
Sad though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Really ruined my day when I found
Cream's
out.
crushed, yeah.
When you see a Corona draft, you're like that. I'm going to have it because not many places. It's getting more popular.
Definitely.
Obviously.
I mean, Weatherspoons have got it now.
have they?
Yeah, Weatherspoons have got it now. So I only tried it for the first time this year. That was my first pint of the year this year. I went sober until the end of Feb.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So from New Year's to the end of Feb, and I had one pint of Kingfisher and point.
Oh yeah, good
And
stuff.
that's what I went for.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a letdown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they got a little like lime basket on the side
Yeah.
of it sometimes. Like, it looks good, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's nothing. It would never be my go-to.
No.
Like,
No.
Loads more of them. Yeah.
You keep speaking about Guinness, and this is like I was going to say this for like quite later on, but what makes a good Guinness? Like what are you? I've heard of.
What are you looking for?
But you
Yeah.
are the man. What post Guinness more than anyone else?
I do post a lot of Guinness. And to be honest, it's getting so many people drinking it now.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
5
yeah.
years ago.
Oh yeah.
It's like the go-to pint of choice for a lot of people now. Firstly, clean glass, because Guinness shows up grease against the glass. So you know, if you're getting like bubbles on the inside of your glass, 9 times out of 10 it's a greasy glass, and that means they've either washed the glass with food or milk or something that's kind of a little bit oily that sticks to the side of the glass. So that's number one. It's pretty easy to
No,
find.
I would have never have done that.
Yeah. Second one's like the perfect pour. So you know like you get in Dublin, it's kind of like let to rest for a minute at 2/3 of the way up, just below the heart. So let it rest and then top it up, and usually that gives you a like no bubbles in the head, that kind of like creamy top.
I've heard the bubble thing. No bubbles in the head.
No bubbles in the head. Yeah, and then the longer you leave it and let it settle, the more the kind of cream will stick to the glass as you drink it. So you get quite a creamy.
That's another one I've heard.
Yeah. So they're the kind of, you know, and as well as a clean glass, a Guinness glass,
Yes.
because otherwise you can't play the game.
I see.
Last year, your pint in the airport.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't my. I was travelling out, and it was fucking busy airport anyway. T3 is like the worst terminal.
Is the worst.
As below quarter past with 2 Guinness glasses of lager in.
Oh.
I've got video evidence of it. I'm
God.
like, what? The
Yeah.
That is serial killer behaviour.
It's shocking, yeah.
Yeah.
It's even worse though the other way around when you see like a Guinness and a Peroni glass
Yes.
or something like that.
Because I've seen
Yeah.
a couple of these.
Yeah.
That is
Why?
so weird.
But it's funny as well when you think about it, like why, apart from splitting the G, like it's the only beer we're bothered about, isn't it? When you think about it, like if you get a Stella and a Moretti glass, no one's that arsed.
No.
Yeah.
But with a Guinness glass, it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like a cardinal
it's right
sin,
or
isn't
die
it?
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do-
I tell you what is suspect behaviour as well. putting blackcurrant in your Guinness.
Oh, yeah.
That is weird.
That's
I asked for that in
criminal.
Dublin and got told to fuck off.
Yeah, imagine.
Fuck off, quite right.
Fuck off, we don't do cocktails.
Nice, yeah.
Right, okay, I'm never right now.
Honestly, I was on a stag do in Newcastle about 2 weeks ago, and obviously all going spoons for breakfast, and
Obviously.
we were all getting a Guinness. Just one lad, poor lad, got blackcurrant in his Guinness. Obviously, they all come out, all looking good. Just one like Ribena coloured Guinness.
Ribena coloured Guinness.
Obviously, he just got absolutely his life was made like hell.
I hope he was called a child for the rest of the
He was absolutely abused.
Basically, one way of pretending that you like
Yeah.
a pint of Guinness.
I think we forced him to neck it.
Quite rightly so.
Yeah, I don't want to see it anymore. Yeah.
But it's funny because with the page you get loads of people messaging like, have you had this, have you done this? And one of the things that was coming up the other day was, I think it's called a white badger.
A cider with
Smirnoff Ice.
yeah, Smirnoff Ice.
With
Sorry,
Guinness.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've not tried it
So
yet.
a lot of people are doing either Smirnoff, like half and half Smirnoff Ice and Guinness, or a fruity cider
Yeah.
with Guinness, half and half.
Yeah,
And apparently, it's meant to slap.
yeah. I've
But-
heard it has. It's going to be good.
I don't think I could bring myself to do it.
That's the first one like mixer I've ever heard of Guinness.
Yeah,
I know a lot of lager ones, but
I
Yeah.
don't think I can bring myself to do it.
I don't know. A few people have said you've got to try it and let us know. I think like
Eventually, you're gonna have to give in, aren't you?
it's got to be worth a try, isn't it? Like how bad can it be? Do you know what I mean? But I think, and then another one's like the oil slick. I don't know if that's like Blue WKD and
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blue WKD, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because it splits.
Yeah.
So it actually
I've
splits.
seen that.
Yeah, it actually splits, which is like, it's weird. It's weird to look at because you're like, rah, like,
Yeah.
like that's how different
Yeah.
the two consistencies are. Like,
It doesn't look very appealing.
It's a big baby Guinness, but different.
yeah.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, but
That's it is a go-to
It's
shot,
the goat
surely.
by far. Yes.
Everywhere does them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You'll struggle not to.
I'm partial to the Jaeger one.
So it's a 2 Jaeger one. Right?
To be fair, he only had
Struggle.
his first baby Guinness was our work study.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Started you need to go on first drink.
It's like dangerously tasty though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
don't
just-
see, it's not a
It's
shot.
like a dessert
Yeah, it is.
in a glass.
Yeah, it was
Get-
really bizarre. Like really bizarre. Like now, it's like I didn't feel like I was doing a shot.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like why I like a Jaeger bomb.
Is it?
Because the Red Bull overpowers the Jaeger.
I struggle with Jaeger.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah, you go. Throw up every time out.
I just feel like every time I have a Jaeger, I just like taste it for like the next week.
You
Just like
wake up
sits
with
on
it.
you. Yeah. It's,
One of my mates said this about Madrid yesterday though. He was like, he's gone off Madrid because it leaves a taste in your mouth. The day after, I'm like, does it? I'm not a massive Madrid drinker, but
Madrid's a funny one, isn't it? Because it's everywhere. And if like you just woke up one morning and every shop just had Madrid
Yes.
everywhere.
but our nickname for it now is a Carlin with a waistcoat on. It's actually not that nice.
So it's funny. I was speaking to a guy from Heineken yesterday,
All right,
and he said that it is a multi Foster's. So it's the same recipe as Foster's, just with a bit of extra malt, and that's what it is. Don't know how true that is. Don't want to be fact checked, but that's what he told me.
That's
He said
Madrid coming off all the pubs nowadays.
I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I think people like the kind of marketing. It's a bit like Estrella, isn't it? Like it's a bit,
Yeah.
it feels a bit European. So they like it. I'm not mad at it, but I mean, their marketing's for not like. I went into Three Bears in Hazel Grove and they had like just Madrid bunting, Madrid coasters, Madrid bar runners, like
It's a bit like Red
So
Bull.
recognisable.
Yeah,
Red
yeah.
Bull are everywhere.
yeah, it's good marketing.
It's so recognisable.
So, your best booze around there, will it be the same as the Guinness?
I mean,
we're going to go OG with.
for me, the all-time, the best pub in Stockport, just for everything, is the Baker's Fault. Like, I just don't think you can go wrong with it. We start doing food now, which is unbelievable.
Have you had it?
Yeah, really good
I've
food.
seen a bit.
Yeah,
I've seen it
I
on
want to try
Instagram.
it,
Yeah.
really good food. They take pride in the Guinness.
Class.
They've got live music on Sundays.
Yeah,
They've got
yeah.
a good playlist on Fridays. It's like a busy, lively pub, but it's not a nightclub. It's
I
like
think they take pride in Stockport.
yeah.
Like, then. Like, if you think of the city advert, the tyre advert was there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, Jay out the in-betweeners did the bet. Was it betting or?
Yeah.
With
It
bacon.
is elite, isn't it? And it's so recognisable now.
Yeah.
Because of how much pride they've took in it.
Yeah.
It's so recognisable.
It
Yeah.
shows. I mean, like Luke, who manages it, lives above it, and he just takes so much pride
Mm-hmm.
in the pub, and all the staff, you know, respect him, and it shows because they're so nice and they seem to love the job.
There's nothing worse than you go to a pub and the staff are just really.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you know, everyone has a bad day.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? But there's nothing more frustrating than that, especially if you go somewhere regularly.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the staff turn.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know someone's having a bad day versus just bad service.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was having a conversation with the Bakers Vaults the other day, like, hospitality has just become so transactional rather than it being like a service. You know, certain good places will be like, oh, what do you want? What do you like? Have you tried this? Or is it the usual today? You know, they'll remember your name, they'll remember where you like to sit, you know, all this thing. But now it's so, pint, fiver, right, that's it. And, you know...
I know what I'd pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
We are the same.
It's a service.
Yeah, it's literally the same in our industry.
Yeah.
Massively.
You don't just want a haircut. You want the conversation. You want to feel welcomed and appreciated. And I think hospitality should be the same, but it's going the wrong way in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Whereas Baker's Vaults.
That'll damage so many businesses as well.
And they're all looking for staff. They can't keep staff. And I think, you know, if you were to go somewhere like the Bakers, the staff are always pretty regular.
All the staff are spot on regular too.
Yeah.
So much credit to that Bakers Vault.
Yeah, they do it so well. And actually, I was fortunate enough to have a tour of the cellar a few weeks ago, and it's all like built on castle walls from the 1700s.
So cool, isn't it?
So much history, and they've just kept it, you know, nice inside. It's still
looked after it.
Yeah. It's where I'll always be if I'm in Stockport on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Always.
Story about
Yeah. Every time.
We're definitely due a night over that way, aren't we?
I don't think we have as a shop.
Yeah.
We've been so busy, but I think definitely we'll sort the Stockport Pints pub crawl.
Oh yeah.
We'll sort that out.
We'll do that.
So you've experienced a lot of pubs, and I think this is going to be like story time now.
Okay.
Of like, I bet you've got some cracking stories.
I mean,
I bet you have some. We spoke about it last week. I bet you have some unbelievable stories of like characters.
Oh yeah.
Like in pubs. Like you've seen the video of the traditional English pub.
Oh well, did you see the video of the Chestergate?
Well, here we go.
That one in Doncaster where they're all dancing and the kind of like midget walks out.
Yeah,
you know, the one,
that's the video.
Like, and everyone said the Chestergate was like that in Stockport, and the Chestergate's good fun, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, you see and meet all kinds of characters all the time, and usually they're spot on. Like if you meet like an old boy at a boozer on a Friday night, they usually spot on. I think like the Queen's Head is particularly good. So that's on Underbanks. It's really, really understated, dead old. It's
on the left hand side as you walk down.
As you walk down, on the left hand side, just past the bridge, they go under.
Yeah.
And that was like maybe the third post I think.
Quote me if I'm wrong, is this the pub where you can't use your phone?
Yeah. So Sam Smith pub, so he's got quite a few, and it's always no phones, no swearing. And you do get booted out for it. But the guys in there, I think, because especially
no phone, no swearing.
Honestly,
in the olden days.
Yeah.
If you go in a pub, you've got to talk to each other, and that's how they want it.
But no swearing.
No swearing, honestly. We tried it out.
You tried it out?
Yeah.
What a
Just
fucking shit idea.
Yeah.
That's half my vocabulary.
Honestly, yeah. It's but even things like, I had to say, well, can I pay on the phone like Apple Pay? Or is that not allowed? He's like, you can pay on Apple Pay. I'm like, right, well, skirting the rules for money here, aren't we?
Obviously.
But in there, it's a proper old boys club. So, because most people, particularly like our age, they're not going to want to go in a pub that they know there's no phones, no swearing, and it is all old boys, no branded beers, it's all his own stuff. So Sam Smith Brewery and Tadcaster, it's all that. Even the spirits, the crisps, it's all their own stuff. So you could have a vodka and Diet Coke, it'd be like his dodgy vodka and his dodgy Coke, like
it's really cola and that.
Yeah.
Madness.
Genuinely, the nicest bunch of people I've ever met.
Yeah?
Honestly, yeah. But they're a proper like gang, a proper crew. but they're so spot on. They're so welcoming to new people. But I remember we were just chatting to a fella called Adi. He was in there all the time. Brilliant bloke. Chewing his ear off for like an hour. And I said, "Oh look, Adi, really good to meet you." Went to shake his hand. He just absolutely pied me off. So I said to my mate, I said, "Oh, nice one." Like, just completely pied me off. And the fella behind the bar goes, "You've been talking to a blind man for the past hour, you silly sod." I was going to swear. And this poor like, yeah.
Did you know?
No, because I bought him a pint and he hadn't touched it, but he didn't realise that I bought him a pint because he was blind. I had no idea.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, I was thinking, God, that's so rude.
So then, like, once you found out, did you then go back and go like, "Sorry, I didn't realise, like, you have like an hour-old pint in front of you"?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I went back and I was like, "Oh look, mate, I'm sorry, I had no idea." And to be honest, I think he was quite grateful that I didn't know, because I mean, you treat him like a normal person as you would anyway, but I wasn't like being a patronising or condescending.
Yeah.
Just treating him like a good. He's a really good bloke. Took it dead well. But you just feel like a mug, don't you? Like, go to shake someone's hand and they just fire you off. You're like, for God's sake.
Christ.
And then, that's good. It's a really good place, like dead wholesome. You should go. Everyone should go.
We'll try that.
And it's a really quirky boozer, loads of little rooms. And they once had, the rumour was, don't know if it's still true, the smallest toilet in Europe there, above the Mersey, that just went straight into the Mersey. That's what I was told. Someone needs to fact check it, but...
The smallest toilet in Europe.
Someone needs to, they need to advertise.
That needs to be fact. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? They don't advertise themselves at all. It's kind of like if you know, you know.
Was you allowed to take pictures? Did you take?
You're not allowed to take
You're
pictures,
not.
but I
You
snuck some in,
Alright.
like behind the scenes. And then there's another really weird boozer. Do you know the Magnet?
Yes.
So like Magnets,
That's a good boozer, isn't it?
for people who like craft beer, that's the best pub in Stockport. I mean, I'm dead loyal to Bakers, I just love it. But Magnet's up there with the best. If you know, the best craft beer selection, certainly better than a lot of places in Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
Good pizza, live music, all that. But just closer to Stockport, maybe like 50 yards, 100 yards, there's a pub called the Midland. It's one of them. You will definitely have seen it, maybe not cocktail.
The Midland from New Zealand Road. You want to know about the foodie?
No, that's the Midway.
Oh yeah, shit, that's the Midway.
So it's like near being, you know, Kingsgate House, like where you did your theory
Yeah.
test, maybe opposite that.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that then.
Yeah.
It's two buildings, but one's the pub.
So they say on the front there's a big sign that says no riffraff, right? Massive sign, and you have to knock on, and the landlord decides
Whether you're allowed.
if you're allowed in or not.
This is like the pub in Berlin.
Yeah, I've been turned away twice.
Okay.
Still not been in. Yeah, my mates have been in. Just obviously didn't like the look of me. So I've not been inside that place.
That's a madness.
Yeah, he literally opens the door maybe like two inches, looks outside and just goes, nope, shuts the door. Yeah. Honestly. It's mad.
What's it called?
The Midway.
The Midway.
The Midland.
The Midland. Midland, get there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's called the Midland.
He's going to have so many knocks in
It's
his
like,
door.
yeah, 50 yards down from
If
the
anyone's been in it,
let us know.
let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely want to know what it's like inside now.
I was fuming because I said to my mates that I went with when I got turned away both times. I was like, if like either of you get in, I'm gonna be so annoyed because it's obviously me that's, and I don't know why. Like, he's just looked at me and thought, nah. And 2 weeks later, they just texted me saying, "I'll bet you'll never recognise this bar."
Oh, God.
They're in there. I was just
Started pissing me right off.
gutted. But apparently, he's like bought this pub. Wasn't really in it for the money or anything. He just wanted a place for his mates to drink, and all his mates are just propping up the bar, and that's it. So his mates don't go anywhere else. No one else comes in, and that's what I've been told. So
I never knew about
but
this.
it's weird.
I never knew about that. I knew the Magnet was getting more fame, but I've never been because it's like you go to Bakers, you walk out, you've got other bars.
Yeah.
The Magnet.
Yeah, because the Magnet's a bit of a walk out, isn't it? Like
It is really,
it's like maybe 15 minutes from Bakerswell up the A6.
Yeah.
And you're always going to get a dodgy experience somewhere. Like your favourite pub in the world, you can still have a dodgy experience.
Mine's in the corner cupboard.
Really?
Yeah, the corner. Have you been in the corner?
No.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
No, it's a corner cupboard. It's
Yeah.
just the 2 rooms.
Okay.
And I walked to the toilet, and like this guy's following me in, and he's like, "Are you the police?" I was like 18 at the time. Bear in mind, baby face, like proper short hair, no beard. I was like, "Are you the police?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Show me your ID then." I was like,
Like really awkward.
Like that'd say I'm a police officer on it anyway.
"Yeah." I was like,
like your driving license.
Man, I'm
Not your
not
occupation.
the loudest guy anyway. I was like, "Fucking Jesus Christ." Walked out, and she was like the girl who was with at the time, like, I go out drinking with them two all the time. She was like, she's been in there lunch, like, what's so weird? I was like, I'm a copper apparently. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, just out of nowhere. Bearing in mind, I've been in there for 2 pints now.
Yeah.
And I don't hope I don't look like a cop, but
That's
I
weird,
wasn't
isn't
doing
it?
anything to, like, thinking.
You must be the opposite to me because I think people think I look like a wrong. So like even when I go to the footy, so I go to the footy with my in-laws, bro. So like they're in their late 50s, right? I go to the football with them. I get searched every single game.
Really?
Doesn't matter what time I go to the game, whether I'm intoxicated or not. I could be in shorts and t-shirt, and I will still get searched. Whenever we go anywhere where there's a doorman, I always get stopped. Never ask my ID.
You do look like a wrong.
But I always get stopped. And I don't know why. And they just have a conversation with me, and I really don't understand
Yeah,
it.
start asking.
Yeah.
Ask
I might
him
actually
his
start
profile.
asking.
It's nothing county, you're a season ticket holder.
Yeah, it's weird because it's normally the same guy that stops me because he goes for the same turnstile as well. So it's like really, really weird. And every single week, my mother-in-law goes, "Bet you get stopped.
Yeah.
Bet you get stopped." Like she finds it absolutely hilarious.
He fancies you.
Yeah, that's it. You know the explanation, isn't it?
Bradley.
Yeah. It's not even just a scanner, man. Like the proper like I
know,
put
yeah.
everything, bro. Like a full search, like emptying your pockets. And
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. When I go to United, it's always the same. Like they pat you here and pat you here. I was like, right, what have you got here? Phone and wallet.
Yeah.
It's always phone and wallet. That's it.
Yeah,
Like maybe
yeah.
keys as well,
yeah, it's a nightmare.
but it is
It's
a
a
nightmare. Yeah.
Talking about the security foot, have you seen the video of the yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Guys,
The steward.
No.
He just literally waves his hand.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It's funny that. Like,
I wish he was at county, man. Someone came patted down proper, man. Like they touch your shoes.
yeah.
You touch the top of your shoes, like especially with like the canvas shoes that I normally wear. Like they're like probably like touch the top of your shoes and that. Make sure you've not got anything.
At least they're thorough.
They still can't find pyro though.
Yeah, they can't find pyro.
Full of pyro, yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke
Maybe
bombs
I just look
and
like
everything,
a smoke bomb kind of guy, innit? I don't know.
But you're going in with like 50-year-old people, but we'll leave that one to county.
Bizarre, man. Sort shit out county, man.
Where'd you go before, before county? Where's the pub?
I've only had one pint this season, and it was in the ground.
In the ground.
Yeah. I've not drank all season.
Smash
I'm
Yeah.
a City fan, so we have Mary D's.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Mary D's and like the East London pub across the road, what it used to be.
Yeah.
Mary D's is booming though. But the only thing is it's Carlin.
Yeah.
Like in is it Polystyrene?
Polystyrene. Rock.
Yeah. But City have got better, to be fair with the beer.
Yes.
We've got breweries, we've got Seven Brothers, we've got
Decent. We got neck oil in the ground.
Well, you've got first class ale at the
The court,
supporters bit, yeah. I'm going to go.
Have you been?
I'm going to the Mansfield game in a couple of weeks.
Ah,
so I'm going to go
yeah.
with the support
Yeah.
to get a post going about that. And so it's
Let us know what you think about the food.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. The pies
The food's unreal.
yeah. So it was on Footy Scrum on Twitter.
Yeah. So like my
Yeah.
best mate's a Charlton fan. Like he's come to quite a lot of county games, and he said it's like one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best like atmospheres and stuff like that, and
I believe
like
it.
the facilities and the.
Yeah.
He was surprised that we had we had them in the cup this year, so he's obviously sat in the home end so many times, and he sat in like the away end, and he was like, "I'm surprised that you actually had warm running water down there."
Really?
yeah. He was like, "I wasn't
Cheeky.
expecting
Cheeky
that."
bastard.
It's like, "Yeah, cheers, mate."
He's
Yeah,
not coming back.
I'm not invited into a game since.
You're a United fan, take it.
Yeah.
We've spoken a bit about it before.
Yeah, we'll gloss over. Yesterday.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, over about it.
Come on!
I've had enough of that at work today and
bet you are.
from everyone. Yeah.
Are you a season ticket holder or anything? Or?
I'm not seeing my old man's got a season ticket with his pal who doesn't go very often, so I'm very fortunate.
That's
I now go to most home games, which is ace.
Yeah.
And it works quite well because I don't know about you lads, but like a lot of my weekends are like getting full. So if I had a season ticket, I'm always away or working away or something. I feel
We
like I
planned it
miss.
for a month and a half. like just for an hour.
Yeah.
Like we do it
Yeah.
for how much we appreciate your time. It's like so even like I've not been to City in a while.
Yeah.
It's trying to find the time.
It is hard. And then, you know, with work and stuff, doing the pints thing,
Yes.
a lot of the time that's on a Saturday. Or, you know, my missus from the North East, so we'll go up there, or we go away. You know, Robinson's have got some really good like B&Bs.
Yeah.
So we sometimes go and stay over at one of
Nice.
them and take the dog with us
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, just try and get to as many games as I can a season. Get to a few county games as well. Just because it's on the doorstep. You know. Always good atmosphere at G Park.
Big well, boys at the minute.
Big up the Hatters.
Did you
Fingers crossed we go up.
Did you win at the weekend?
So we drew 0-0. Missed the game because we went out for food.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. They never win when I'm not there. No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. They never win when I'm not there.
So I will be going to last game of the season to Hartlepool at home,
Yeah.
and that's where my missus is from.
Oh,
So we try and bring all their family over and have a proper.
and just laugh at them.
Yeah. Well, you know, they had the last laugh when they knocked us out of the playoffs and went up last season, but it's looking like it'll be the other way around this season. But you know what I will say, I really hope they stay up controversially, because it's such a good excuse to go on a county away day in Hartlepool and rub it in
Yeah, it works out well,
and have all your mates come down for the other one. So I do like them being in the same league.
Yeah.
So I will be a bit gutted if they go down, which looks like they will.
Yeah, it does look like
But yeah,
Why are they bad?
they're third from bottom at the minute.
Yeah.
And it's like, a bit
Yeah.
abysmal.
Yeah, it's real nail biting stuff. they're in some deep trouble, man.
Yeah.
Well,
They're signing a county player, haven't they? Is it Conor Jennings has gone there?
Yeah, Conor Jennings went there in January, I think.
Yeah. It's good signing for them.
Huge signing for them, yeah. I don't know if he's quite League 2 quality though.
Yeah.
Without being controversial, if he hadn't gone through what he'd gone through, I don't think he'd still be at the club this season. Do you get what I mean? And that's no disrespect to him, he's a hell of a footballer. I just don't think Leeds is quite his level.
Going back to the booze, was you a big boozer before Stockport Pints?
Yeah. I mean, I always liked a beer.
Yeah.
Always, as long as I've like been drinking, not like going out to like late night clubs or whatever and binge drinking.
Yeah.
I always just liked a beer. Don't really drink soft drinks, you know, just water and coffee throughout the day, and then just a beer with my dinner.
No.
I'd always just go through the craft beers and.
Are you a big craft?
Yeah.
Because it's coming into like a scene and like a wave, didn't it?
Yeah. I think the thing is, I've always said, I'm not. Weirdly, there are people that just die-hard beer fans.
Yeah.
That like they're into all the crazy like barrel-aged stouts and, you know, like peanut butter and toffee and banana. 12% stuff.
I'll give you that.
And I can't really get on board with a lot of that. I don't love it. Barley wines and all this.
Brewdog brought out a birthday cake.
Yeah.
Stout, and it was like
Some of that.
fucking
So weird.
I don't. But some people just love everything, all of it, and they're open to it. So I wouldn't say I'm a big like beer guy. I like my IPAs and my lagers and those kind of things, like fruity stuff.
No.
But I'm not going to be the one that's having the birthday cake,
No.
stout, or anything like that.
That was one of Brad's questions. Is craft beer more mainstream now? Then like that's a little niche.
I think it's becoming more accessible.
Yeah.
I think you're starting to see what were craft breweries on in tap room in like pubs now. So say like Neck Oil, right?
Yeah.
That was a craft beer.
Such a
5
nice
years
pint
ago.
as well.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
Oh, it's a nice pint.
Yeah, and that's coming on. You know, that was on at the Baker's Vaults, at Puss in Boots, places like that. So it's getting them into IPAs.
Having it in a football stadium.
Yeah,
Like,
football.
If
stadium,
you said that to someone 5 years ago, you would have laughed at you, man. You
Yeah.
would have laughed at you.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
I think now they're not necessarily craft because they're so
Yeah.
widespread across the country. But if people, you know, have that at the football, they might think, oh, well, I like an IPA. What else is there?
Yeah.
And there's millions of options. I mean, like even just round here, you know, Neighbourhood is a brewery, they're brewing Poynton.
Yes.
You've got Runaway, they're opening a brewery in Stockport. You've got First Class Ale who do
Yeah.
County. and that's like just in the immediate like vicinity.
Yeah.
And then
3 miles away.
Yeah, and then as soon as you get to Piccadilly, you've got like Track, Shore Shot, Cloudwater, they're all there.
Nice.
So I think it's impossible to keep up with the scene, but I think it's just more accessible now, with kind of pale ales and things like that. I think people are after something a bit more tasty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because I think when you've had a few craft beers and then you go and have a Coors Light, you realise
What
that
is it? Yeah. What's that cause?
I've just had kind of like multi lemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people kind of want something that's a bit tastier, like even
Cali Pale.
Cali Pale or Thornbridge, and there's. I think pubs are being a bit more open to other things.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, even if you went back 10 years ago, the chances of just an average pub having more than 2 lagers on draft would be absolutely outrageous. They had 4 pumps. Most pubs only had 4 pumps less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at how many pubs you can go around in Stockport, especially you go around so many different pubs. Look at how many pumps you've got.
Yeah.
Like, 10 pumps. Do you know what I mean? You're like, wow.
I think as well, like they're so good. The standard of some of the beers that are coming out now, like even people like Die Hard folk that would drink nothing but Carlin, they're getting more open to drinking just tasty things, and it's not that expensive now because it's getting brewed in such big, something like the Magnum, right? You can get a really nice pint of craft beer for £3.80. And I know a certain establishment in centre of the marketplace that charge £7 for a pint of Madry.
Yeah.
And you can go and have a really nice craft beer number at the moment for £3.80.
No.
Yeah.
It's a UK thing though. I've never seen that many craft abroad.
It's
travelling about.
It's not really big in like mainland Europe. America's massive.
Yeah, America's huge.
But not if you're going to Spain or Portugal, you're not.
Yeah.
Most beer in America is bottled and canned, isn't it? Like it's very rare that you'll get a pint on draft over in America, which is so bizarre.
It's like it's all about where you go, isn't it? Like Seattle and Portland and massive craft beer places. It's funny actually. I was invited to go to Banff Craft Beer Festival this year, and the fellas that run it kind of wanted me to do a little go abroad for a craft beer scene, but it's one of them really busy. But flights were like £1,200.
It's not cheap.
Car hire was like £1,000. I'm thinking, right, all well and good having free beer festival tickets, but I'm shouting like £2,000 to get there.
Really sucking up £3,000 worth of beer.
That's it. But Manchester Craft Beer Festival.
I'd give it a good go.
I'd give
it a good go, man.
Manchester Craft Beer Festival's on this year, and that is unlimited booze. I think it's £50, I think, to get in, but it's unlimited booze.
I've heard that one.
It's really good. Me and some buddies went a couple of years ago, and it's because some of them you buy tokens, and you get little like coins or whatever.
But this is free beer.
They're really generous with this.
That's unbelievable for someone like me. Like you've seen how I think. I'll go out and I'll sing 18 pints.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting my money's worth, innit? But some people they'll only have like 3 pints, innit? But I guess you're paying for the event, aren't you?
That's it. And there's live music and food stalls and whatever. But that's a good event to go to if you want to get.
Where is it? Whereabouts in town is it?
Last time it was at like Depot Mayfield.
Near
Escape Straight Out. Yeah, next door to that.
Decent.
Yeah.
Might give that away this year.
It's good.
When's that?
I think it's end of May. I think.
Oh, so as the weather starts to pick up as well.
Yeah, but it was indoors last time. I think it's still indoors. But yeah, it's good. I think we need to get working on a Stockport Craft Beer Festival. I think that's something that needs to happen.
I mean, you've got the perfect place for it in the market, haven't you?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, hopefully people will be interested in something like that and we can get it going.
The only thing with the pubs be pissed off looking for them at the that.
Or with the pub see as an opportunity to
because they can have their own stores.
Yeah.
And what realistically in Stockport, because it's not as big as Manchester, you probably wouldn't have your flat fee. You probably buy tokens. You probably buy beer tokens.
Exactly, and you got to think about like Foodie Friday, right?
Oh, massive.
How good's that for the pubs? you know,
It brings so many people that wouldn't normally
exactly.
go into the centre of Stockport.
It's always their busiest Friday of the month.
Yeah.
Of course, because no one's ever seen Stockport that busy.
No.
And I don't know if
What
you remember
great
that summer
animals.
when the DJs came out on Underbanks and
So good.
yeah.
Underbank got involved too now. That's 4 years ago. Underbank wasn't really a scene.
Exactly.
Such an
You had the
up-and-coming thing, though,
Cracked
isn't it?
actor maybe pushing a bit.
That's it, but now you've got spin-off opposite.
So many.
Spin-off's a really good boozer.
I've not tried that.
It's a good proper bar. They did a few breweries now come in there and take over the taps, and you just get their beers, and it's a really good place. So yeah, really, it's good for the area.
We'll wrap it up. So
We'll let you go home.
we'll let you crack on with wherever
I'm
you
being
go.
well looked after. I'll stay here all evening. Yeah.
We just spoke then. I hope you haven't tried these. We're gonna give you one each recommendation for a pub that you'd like to see on the page, and for food, because like we spoke earlier about
Okay.
wanting to push a bit more food.
Yeah.
Have you been anywhere in Bramall?
Yes. Yeah. I was in Bramall a couple of weekends ago. So
So
yeah,
the drawing room.
I've not done the drawing room.
That was my recommendation for a pint.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
they've got different ones, etc.
Yeah.
Nice little quirky bar.
It looks
Same
nice.
as Didsbury. They've got a place over there. The food's nice as well.
Yeah. Do you like burgers and
yeah.
yeah.
But if all out foodie, mate, I'm gonna go Sasso Disley.
Really?
If you've not tried, so I'm happy that
Really?
you've not tried them two places.
See, I went to Sasso's before it was Sasso's, like literally 20 years ago.
Oh, right,
It was like
okay.
a make your own pizza
Yeah.
like station,
Yeah.
and I used to go there, but I've not been since then.
They're my two
Disney's good.
recommendations.
Yeah.
Unreal. I don't think you were disappointed.
My two, you're already going to one of them, the fan zone at
Yeah,
Carlton.
go there, yeah.
The other place I'd say is, have you ever been to the Devonshire Arms up in, it's like Mella?
I've not been for years. Honestly,
Unreal.
go through Marple Bridge.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
near
yeah.
Oddfellows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food's elite. The
Well,
food's
business
elite.
so
Like,
nice
they do
at
a really,
Devonshire Arms.
really good Sunday roast.
Really?
Yeah.
Sunday roast is the most contentious topic
Yeah.
in the world.
Oh, the same as Sunday roast, pack horse in New Mills.
Really?
I've heard very good
Miami is the
things.
main head chef. That's
Oh.
why. But unreal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
New Mills is getting a good place to go
Yes,
to now.
yes,
Like
yes.
Shrub Club's there, and
Mate, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Sure. Have you been?
No. I've not been out of New Mills for probably before I got them. This is 8 years, 7 years, something like that.
it's been a long
Yeah,
time. since
yeah.
I've been
Shrub
there,
Club's
but
good.
Yeah.
There's one place that I will say that didn't get mentioned but deserves it. And it's genuinely one of the best places I've ever been. In Chilhue, it's called Inventory. I don't know how well you know Chilhue.
No.
So I went to Chilhue to try out all the craft beer bars, about 3 or 4 there. And my mate said, I'll tell you what, there's this place called Inventory. Looks like a nice little bar and outdoor area. Why don't you just start there and then go to the craft beer bars? We just didn't leave.
Oh, mega.
Honestly.
Mega, that's a good time.
They're unbelievable. The food. So have you been to the Jane Eyre in Manchester?
No.
It's like really good food in Manchester. The head chef from there moved over to Inventory, and honestly, if it was in the centre of town, people would be queuing up to get
Oh,
to it.
really? Yeah.
It's that good. It just does not get. I don't think it gets the attention it deserves, but it's unbelievable. Really good beers. The staff just will do anything for you. They know everything about the cocktails, the food. It's a lot of small plates. But honestly, if you're ever in Chilhue,
I'm gonna try
actually
that one.
anywhere, it's worth the visit. Inventory just does not get the attention it deserves, and it's unbelievable.
Mega.
I could list a load of food places off you because I'm more of a foodie than a drinky.
Yeah.
But I'll give that one a go.
Please do, yeah, it blows me away. I mean, I did an event there a couple of weeks ago, got a few people around, but they're really looked after you, so I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Mega.
They didn't pay me to say that. I promise they didn't.
Happy days. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Massively thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
Likewise.
Nice to put a face to the page as well.
I know, yeah.
This is like your official like.
My reveal party.
Yeah. I'd nearly said coming out party.
Oh, don't say that.
It's not my coming out party, but yeah, it's like your official reveal. So we've done well. We've done well
I
together.
feel honoured for that one.
Thanks for supporting the page, and thanks to everyone that watches it for supporting it. It's
Yeah.
anywhere that you think that should be shown on the page that deserves it. There's no agenda,
No.
you know. It's just let's get them on there, get them featured, support your local business.
Is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Be nice to hospitality. Be nice to your staff. Support your local. You know, venture beyond your local. Support other beers and
Try something new.
Just try something new. And I just I think hospitality is struggling at the minute, and
Especially with cost of living prices.
they really appreciate you supporting them. Whether that's going there for a coffee rather than a chain. Most of them do really good coffees. Just going for a bit of food. Just going for a pint. Yeah, watching the football there, they really appreciate it. And
I'll plug a quick coffee for you because I've been loyal to them since day one.
please do.
Kickback Coffee.
Kickback coffee.
We've got the main ones, Potts Wrigley. They've got one in Altrincham and they've just opened up in Mac.
Really?
Water salt. That I'll give you if you like
Yeah.
coffee.
I'll have a
I'll
coffee.
give you that one.
Yeah, I'll go
Nice,
there.
proper up your street.
Brilliant. Hey,
But yeah.
appreciate it.
I just drink instant black coffee. Dirty coffee. Yeah, the cheaper the better.
Yeah.
But yeah, all links are below. Stockport Pints. James'
Drop them a
website
follow.
is below. Support his merch. Stick the stickers up everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
Get the stickers everywhere. That's the one.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
And until
Till next
I know
time.
I know it's empty,
My
but
empty bottle.
Cheers, all.
chin chin.